Is that you practicing your pivot moves? Preparing to make a big change of path? Hey, I'm Kai. I'm here to join you on the journey, and I want you to really, really, really deeply appreciate a few things. Before you pivot, you're gonna probably feel like the night before a major performance and major presentation or Christmas. You're gonna feel all those waves of uncertainty combined with the push to make you kind of jump and take a leap. And you want to make sure that you're leaping towards the next goal and not leaping back towards comfort. Pivoting is going to take energy, it's going to take discomfort. And I want you to feel in your bones and know that you know that you know that you are capable. And also know that you are worthy. So anyone who runs a marathon usually starts by training. You don't get out on a given day and decide, oh, I'm gonna do the Boston Marathon, and this is how I'm gonna approach it. You probably look at the lengths of marathons, maybe even start practicing doing your runs. Maybe you do complete a half marathon, and you build yourself up until you're at the level where you can just go and do all these other things. You are welcoming the prospect of something so new, but yet so practical for you. So I want you to think about these things every time that you have to readjust yourself, reassert yourself, reinsert yourself into your planning. It's not meant to be easy, but it is worth it. Next thing I want you to think about is anything that is long term and require endurance, you're going to have a support system. So if your support system cannot consist of the people that you currently love or currently are close to, you may have to look at the conscious decision to build a team who will come and push you forward when you feel like you're stalling or when you feel like you're moving backwards. And I say this because people have this idea that they can be lone rangers and they just need to go it alone, and this is how they're gonna get the results because they just have to toughen up and push through. And you could not be further from the truth. Real achievers who know that they want to do something for the long run take every opportunity for support and take every opportunity to build sustainability as opposed to spurts of productivity. And so I want you to think about being in a pivot as a period where you get to reevaluate what relationships are going to be able to serve in this next chapter and what relationships may have been blessings but have served their time. And if you're able to do this, you will be so, count yourself so blessed and so lucky to be able to differentiate. It's like being in the middle of a repair and reaching for a tool and realizing that you sold the tool that you needed, right? Or being in the middle of a repair and grabbing the tool you use and realizing that for this particular project, it has no use. So you want to take your time and move through that experience and use the tools of people who are here to support you, who are here to learn about your journey as your tools of the trade. Pivoting is going to take energy, it's going to take action, it's going to take your reflection, it's going to take you being in a position of taking perspective and taking responsibility for what you want to do going forward and what you no longer want to do going forward. I knew that certain experiences had hardened me and given me lessons that I don't think I want to repeat. And the more you go into those experiences thinking that they're a one-off, the more you'll be terribly surprised that you kind of have the same day over and over. It's like Groundhog's Day. So I want you to dig deeply into how you can become a better steward of the time, energy, resources that you have so that you can make sure that you're making the most against all odds. I'm not saying it's easy. I think it's going to be pretty painful, but you can be very precious in this journey and know that whether or not the pain comes from external or internal sources, that you're going to have something that you're going to need to work through. And I think that's why you want to make sure you're going with a team rather than going alone, because the challenges, the battles may not be predictable. But if you have people who are helping you through it, you have a better opportunity to win the war. Stagnancy and indifference and boredom and just kind of giving up on what could be, these are all things that kind of come along with the process. When you decide that you want something different for your life, I think the world can conspire to show you something different and to move along with you. And I think simultaneously the world can fashion itself into a machine that wants to push against the friction, right? And push against the change, push against something that's different. The easiest thing for you to do is to quit and to return to the routine that you had implemented before. And people think that what you're fighting against is the problem or the challenge in front of you. But what you're really also fighting against are the doubts that come from any direction, the doubts that you're not even pronounced or that you're not conscious of, the doubts that are communicated when there's even a delay or a denial. You may take years to be finally comfortable and confident with the new thing that you're pursuing, but at least you won't live those years wondering what if, why didn't I try? And so when we prepare to pivot, you have to understand that these things are going to weigh you down no matter what. So you can have the weight of the challenge or the weight of complacency. There's no in between. And people speak about it as though it's something that, you just kind of have to get over. Like, you've already chosen your career path, just stick with it, just live with it. But are you living? Are you truly living, or are you merely surviving and coping in order to not appear ungrateful? And if this is the case, then how are you going to take this particular step in life and move yourself forward? I commend you for considering a different path. I commend you for even opening yourself up to information and resources and getting input and insight about what it might look like. I think for some people it's not pretty, but it's pretty worth it, right? For some people it's not practical, but it's something they can practice. And I love it when I meet someone who is just so connected to what their needs are and their direction. And wanting very greatly to do something different means that your needs are changing and your direction is changing at the same time. And this can be disoriented. And that's why you have your tools that'll help you navigate, kind of like your GPS, to help you gauge which direction you're going now and where you need to change and turn in the pivot. So your turn is up to you. And I'm so glad, so excited that you're considering it. And I'm so impressed that you're doing it at this particular stage. Many people live lives of quiet misery, quiet desperation, and they live with the triumphant show of courage and maybe even they live with a campaign within a campaign of continuity, because they want to appear clear and they want to appear as, the subject, the topic, the thing that stuck with it and showed that it was possible. And I think if you're having doubts because you have people who look up to you and you have groups that see you in a certain way, it might be time to step back for a little bit and give yourself some space from that group, just so that your orientation and your change isn't impacted or inflicted by their expectations. If you know that you have certain mentorship relationships or you have this ready repeated expectations, you may take a step back and take some time to kind of turn and give yourself some of that leeway to transform, maybe in darkness, to transform out of sight, and to be the butterfly going through its metamorphosis without the immediate criticism about how you look different, how you're changing, and what's going on. You can do so much and be so much with time and continued investment. But I want you to know that there's no one more worthy than you to protect, to move forward with, and to grow with. So I look forward to your pivot. I send positive energy to you on your path. And I invite you to join me on the journey for your pivot as I advise your shift. Let's discuss, let's talk about where you are now, where you think you want to go, and how we're going to get there.